It's Monday, February the 18th, and here is Redspan Aviation News number 27. In this edition, the RAF Tornado farewell tour of the UK, Airbus to cease production of the A380, NASA's ambitions for returning to the Moon, and the UK leading the way in drone pilot standardisation. Hello, my name is Ben Lovegrove, and here is this week's roundup of aviation news from high altitude to below 400 feet. Each week I bring you selected stories about aerial activity, from space exploration to general aviation, from drones to UFOs. Head over to redspan.com to find out how I can make marketing videos for your aviation business. So chocks away then. First, RAF Tornados will be conducting a farewell tour of the UK on February the 19th, 20th and 21st. This aircraft has been in service for over 40 years and will be missed by the many pilots, engineers and technicians who have contributed to its success as a multi-role aircraft. The Panavia Tornado was a joint development by Italy, the United Kingdom and what was then West Germany. It first flew in 1974 and entered service a few years later. It was used extensively throughout the Gulf War of 1991, as well as during the wars in Bosnia, Kosovo, Libya, Afghanistan and Syria. There are about 20 Tornados on display in museums around the UK. It's one thing to see them in the media, but nothing compares to seeing this aircraft up close in order to appreciate its size and engineering. The farewell tour will consist of 3 flights, passing overhead military bases and aircraft factories in England, Scotland and Wales. The flypasts will take place on the afternoon of the 19th and 20th of February and on the morning of the 21st of February. Exact timings are due to be released today, the 18th of February, on Twitter and in Facebook. Suggest you check the station commander at RAF Marham's account on Twitter. The Tornado is being replaced by the new F-35 Lightning II stealth fighters and the existing but upgraded Typhoon fleet. Next, Airbus have announced that they are to cease production of the A380 due to a fall in orders. They came to this painful decision when it became clear that the market has changed and that airlines were switching to smaller twin-engined airliners. It must be a big disappointment to all the designers, engineers and other staff who contributed to the launch of this huge passenger aircraft. However, we will still see the A380 in our skies for many years yet. There are still some orders to complete, so, along with those already in service, it will be a long time before they are all retired. Emirates have been the A380's biggest buyers with a fleet of over 100. Another 12 airlines, including British Airways and Singapore Airlines, have bought a total of over 120. But while this aircraft has been popular with passengers, the airlines were less keen, citing high running costs. In the end, the decision by Emirates to switch to smaller aircraft forced Airbus into this difficult position. Next, NASA has announced plans to work with American companies on new reusable systems for astronauts to land on the lunar surface. They want their partners to design ways in which astronauts could return to the Moon using reusable landers. This is part of more ambitious plans for the continued exploration of the Moon as well as eventual journeys to Mars. Plans include using resources found on the Moon to generate additional propellants for the reusable spacecraft. By returning to the Moon and demonstrating that both robotic spacecraft and astronauts can make repeat and safe journeys, NASA will be fulfilling its long-term goals. The path includes milestones such as the transitioning of US human spaceflight in low Earth orbit to commercial operations that support NASA, followed by extending long-duration astronaut journeys to include visits to the Moon and the lengthy robotic exploration of the lunar surface, and eventually the human exploration of the Moon as preparation for human missions to Mars and deeper into the rest of the solar system. And finally, the drone industry is stirring up both praise and controversy. proving that rapidly developing technology sectors are never easy to control, whilst underpinning the urgent need for standardization in the industry. One key area that requires an urgent need for standardization is the training of UAS operators and pilots and, in time, those who train them. This will ensure that the thousands of much-needed UAS pilots will be able to operate these complex aircraft safely in an industry-agreed safe way and to a level of quality which will reliably deliver the required results and essential data that the industry needs. Fortunately, the UK is already leading the world in this field. BSI 9122-2018, Qualification and Approval of UAS Operatives, UAS Pilot Level 1, was created by a group of industry experts to detail precisely what degree of knowledge and skill a drone pilot must prove to be qualified under the standard. The BSI standard also works cohesively with the CAA requirements for drone pilot training, serving as a complement to the CAA's PFCO, Permission for Commercial Operations. Most recently, it has been decided that the BSI standard will be used as the template for the ISO standard, which is currently under development. The hard work already done by the UK's experts will now be integrated and built upon in the ISO model. The UK's best interests will continue to be considered as this important work advances. Keeping BSI, CAA and ISO in consideration, it is critical for companies and organizations to consider the impact of standardization in the future of their operations. With drone technology clearly impacting the economy at augmenting rates, complying with standards and thinking ahead is an important step in ensuring participation in the latest technological revolution. Mark Caney, Training Strategy Director of Drone Major Group, has played a vital role in establishing the BSI standard, working closely with CAA and now ISO to ensure practical, safe and progressive policy that both protects and encourages best practice. Mark is also now paving the way in the development of wide-reaching ISO standards on training for those involved in the operation of UAS. For more information about Drone Major Group, visit dronemajorgroup.com. That's all for this edition of Redspan Aviation News. I look forward to bringing you more about the fascinating world of aviation and space exploration soon. Subscribe to my channel and click the bell next to the subscribe button to be notified of the next edition. Finally, please like, share and comment on this video so that I know what I'm doing right and will continue to make videos that people want to watch.